Welcome back for day three of the challenge. And of course, Harlan has to come say hello and make sure I'm okay since it has been quiet around here for the last 30-40 minutes. Anyway, welcome back. As you make your way into the live video stream, I wanted to tell you if you have not signed up yet for the challenge, go ahead and get signed up. And I'm still trying to make sure that everything is, make sure I can see. So people, remind people, okay, as you see people post and leave comments, that in order to see the live stream, you have to click refresh. So I've got my desktop back here and I'm refreshing it. I'm experimenting. I'm trying to see if the live stream, if the desktop is going to be easier to follow than my cell phone. I don't know. We'll find out in a second. But yes, welcome back to the challenge, day 3 of the Plot Like a Novelist 5-day challenge. I wanted to compliment you guys on all the stories you guys are coming up with. They are amazing. We have got science fiction stories about sentient alien cats, among other things. We have a couple of romances. We've got some women's fiction. There's some mystery. There's some children's writing going on. There's all kinds of things. So y'all are doing awesome, being creative, brainstorming, coming up with some really cool story ideas. Now I do see it live here, and it is 10:30. Okay, there we are. I am live. All right, so if you guys see, I'm making sure, so for commenting purposes, and make sure I am muted. I don't want any sound on this. Okay, great. Now, I also have a question for you. Share how the challenge has helped you so far. So as you're kind of coming in, just drop a comment in the video how the challenge has helped you so far. And again, I'm trying to full commenting thing. Hopefully this will not give, okay, I'm muted again. Live chat. Okay, there we are. Okay. And all right, let's dive in with my screen share. And yeah, I'm gonna just go right into this. Oh, I've got it right here already queued up and ready to go. Yikes. I'm not completely ready to go. I was way not where I should have been. That's okay. We'll get it squared away. Okay. And I don't know how this is going to work. We got this. We got it, y'all. We got it. Ta-da. Okay, welcome. Day 3. We are on day 3. So also I wanted to give you guys a thank you. Thank you for remembering to share your audience and your genre. So PB for picture book, ER for early readers, CB for chapter book, so on and so forth. YA, of course, for young adult. The genre, it just helps orient me to kind of what we're looking at here. So we've got, all the genres there. So whatever it is you're writing, thank you for those of you who are remembering to include that in every day's in your homework for each daily post. And see, so these are people who are doing that for me. It just helps a lot. Thanks again. A quick little review. So a super quick review of day 1 and day 2, because today is day 3 and we're going to jump right in a second. But day 1, we talked about the finish line. That is plot point number 5, okay? And the main character's goal helps define what that finish line is gonna be. So whatever your character wants, 99% of the time, the character is gonna get it and reach that goal by the end of the book. So that's your finish line plot point. Not that they're at the very beginning thinking about it, but the plot point number 5 is when they actually realize their goal has come true, made happened or whatever. Okay, so that's your finish line. Day 2, that's what we talked about yesterday, was plot point number 4, which is the wall. Again, remember, we're working backwards here. And the wall is typically something that happens to your character. So it's not really something that they're doing. If they're doing something and it makes them feel bad, it's probably not going to be the plot point of the wall, okay? So just, if you're still struggling with the wall, go back, rewatch yesterday's video, and read other people's examples and my comments and see if that helps you kind of sort it out. I know several of you have said, oh, this has helped so much. They finally feel like they know what their wall is for their story. So that's just a quick little review. Also, remember, congratulations to the day 1 winner. The prize there was Brainstorm Like a Boss. There's 5 different ways to help you brainstorm. And they're all quite different. They're all a lot of fun. And Patricia Emberry won. So that prize again comes from my course, Plot Like a Novelist. Day 2, which was yesterday, the prize that was up for grabs was Think Like a Therapist. And that worksheet gives you, I believe, 5 or 6 different ways to kind of show self-doubt in your characters. And then an additional 14 ways that you can really show it across, like, in your novel, like really good stuff, those 14 things. And then 8 specific questions to help you get to know your characters, okay? So that is what was up for grabs yesterday. The day 2 winner, I'm going to go ahead and choose that one right now. So give me just a minute to scroll here and find it. We've got to get back to our spot. This was yesterday's video here. And it should be on just this. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll up and down with my eyes closed. This is going to be the winner for day 2, yesterday. Okay, eyes closed. I'm scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And up again. And down again. And I have no idea if I'm reaching. Okay, wherever my mouse landed. Where did my mouse go? Terry Groves. Okay. I love you, Terry, but he is already a student. So we are going to continue scrolling and find a new winner. All righty, let me scroll some more. And how about this one? That's me. Okay, well, that doesn't make sense. All right, I'm going to have to do this again. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrolls down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrolls up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrolls down. Somewhere in the middle. And I'm not in the middle. Okay, and how about now? Looks like Lori Myers. Okay, so you actually, Lori, are winning, not Brainstorm Like a Boss, but you are winning Think Like a Therapist. All right, so congratulations to Lori in winning Think Like a Therapist. I'm just going to go ahead and put your name right here. Everybody, give Lori a shout out in the comments. Okay? Congratulate her on winning Think Like a Therapist. And let's continue on. So congratulations. I will email that to you. All right. So the VIP experience. My dogs. The one is wanting to play. Shh. Not right now. Not right now. So the VIP experience is happening tonight. Tonight, y'all. So make sure you get in there and do that. I need to quickly find that so you can see the show. VIP experience. There's your link. There's your link. There's your link, everybody. Oh, here. There you go. So it's live group coaching tonight in our VIP lounge, and you'll have the opportunity where we can talk about your story. So that's exciting. You're also going to be learning extra plotting secrets that I don't share anywhere else in the challenge. And the bonuses, you're going to get all 5 of the daily prizes from this week's challenge. So what does that look like? The 5 bonuses are brainstorming like a boss. We've already talked about that one. The think like a therapist. We've talked about that one as well. Marathon method plot diagram. That's today's prize, and we'll give that one away tomorrow. So today's prize is marathon method plot diagram. That is where I'm showing you not just the bare bones plot diagram that I shared inside the group with the 5 main plot points, but you'll get all 11 stages. So the 5 main plot points are 5 of those 11 stages. So I will reveal to you this other 6 stages and what they're called, where they fall, how they work, and some timing in there as well. It's a really cool plot diagram. It's quite helpful when you're thinking about your story and kind of making sure everything goes where it should go. So that's what's up for grabs for today. And you'll get that when you join the VIP. And then the plotting cheat sheet, one of my absolute favorites. It has the 5 main plot. I'm going to reveal a little bit of it here in just a minute. But it has the 5 main plot points and all the nitty-gritty details associated with each one. It's like super amazing cool. I love it. And then the 5th thing is the plot summary of Harry Potter, and that actually goes through all 11 stages, and it highlights like what they are, and it's really helpful to see a popular story that most people have heard or read and break it down for you and how that plays out according to plot. So that's what's up for grabs in the VIP. Please join us if you possibly can, and you can do that. Also, I wanted to mention the grand prize. There is going to be a grand prize this week. I'm giving away 1 free seat to my course, Plot Like a Novelist. I'm giving that away Friday or Saturday. I haven't quite decided which day it's going to be, but definitely hang out until the end of the week. See if you are the grand prize winner and get 1 free seat to that course, Plot Like a Novelist. So let's dive right into today's teaching. So again, the marathon method plot diagram, that's today's prize. And today we're talking about the halfway point. So in a marathon, when you reach the halfway point, that's a half marathon, okay? And it's a really big deal because you're halfway toward your goal of crossing the finish line. Now, I have run 2 marathons. My second marathon was my husband's first marathon, and he was kind enough to hang out with me the first half of the marathon. But when we reached that halfway point, he's like, sorry, babe, I gotta go. And so he took off and left me in the dust. But that was at the halfway mark. And that's what we're thinking about today is what does that halfway point look like for your story? Okay. In my examples that I've been sharing, and I see some of the comments finally coming through. Just wanted to give a shout out to everyone. We've got Denise. She gave a shout out to Lori, congratulating her on winning today's giveaway. I have things going on. I don't know what's happening over there. And Dawn says enjoy as well. So, but in my story Gleek that I've shared on the daily posts, as well as in the email. So if you haven't signed up for the challenge, join us. But there's this new girl and she's a little creepy, and Gleek is kind of shy and kind of introspective a little bit. But without her help, he wouldn't have been able to finish that science project. So he finally got her to agree to help him. And that is the halfway point. So he's making progress towards his goal of winning the science fair project. So he finally got help to do the thing, right? So going on with some more examples, Wonder Woman, we'll stick with that one for a little bit throughout the week. Diana captures the enemy trench and Steve follows behind, supporting her as she is the front runner and like deflecting all the weapons and the ammo and everything flying at them all. And then everyone sees that she's not dead. They're in no man's land. And they all rise up and like start backing her up and helping out. And then Steve and Diana share a kiss. So that's like a little subplot going on, is their like romantic subplot. It's not a romance. That's not the main point of the story. In the end, she kind of doesn't get the guy, which I already kind of spoiled that. Let's see, yesterday, yeah, when we talked about the wall, because he dies. But they are making major progress toward ending the war. So that's the halfway point there. Shrek. Let's talk about Shrek for a second. Shrek and Fiona, they also, they don't quite share a kiss yet, but they do fall in love. And it's during the process of Shrek's journey to get his swamp back. And so the subplot is intermingling with the main plot of getting a swamp back as well. It's not actually a happily ever after until the very end. And so this is like a romance adventure. It's definitely a romance. If you recall, in the very beginning, Shrek is sitting in his porta potty, whatever, the outhouse, and he's flipping through a magazine, and he's like, and in the very end, they share a kiss, and that's happily ever after. And he's like, yeah, right, like that'll ever happen. That's foreshadowing, people. It's a romance. It's a romance. Okay, with adventure, of course. And then finally, the third example is Harry Potter. So Harry, Ron, and Hermione discover a three-headed dog guarding a trap door to who knows what, something, right? So in this example, the journey kind of changes, and a lot of you guys are experiencing this. The journey changes from the original goal, and we're going to talk about this a little bit tomorrow. Not so much the goal itself, but the journey. The journey changes from simply going to Hogwarts to solving a mystery. So it's just getting deeper into that experience at Hogwarts. He still has the same internal goals of finding belonging and family kind of a thing, love and acceptance. But the external story goal of going to Hogwarts, well, he's already there. Like, he got there. And his main reason for going was for those internal goals. But now at the halfway point, we see, oh, now there's a mystery that they can solve. And so it takes the story deeper and continues it moving forward. So that's that halfway point. So the halfway point either shows one of these two things. The character is halfway there, or it presents a new goal for the character and the story. So that's pretty much how your halfway point looks. And here's the sneak peek of what I was talking about, the plotting cheat sheet. It's got 5 different columns, and this is the column for the halfway point. And even then, I'm not showing you everything. It has 9 different types of halfway points that are typically found in most stories. Now, I've highlighted 3 of them here, and the genres that it most often associates with, but they can be found elsewhere. So obtaining an important tool or an object, discovering an important clue, or falling in love. Those are 3 of the 9 types of midpoints for a story. And obtaining an important object or a tool is oftentimes found in science fiction or fantasy. Not always. It can be something different. And that plot point can also be found in other types of stories. But a lot of times with science fiction and fantasy, the halfway point is where they're obtaining an important object or a tool, okay? In a mystery, 9 times out of 10, the halfway point is discovering another important clue. They're finding clues all along the way, but the halfway point is an important clue. Again, remember the 2 types of halfway points, that it's like you're either halfway there or it presents you with a new goal, a new direction for the character to go in. And so a mystery can be also either one of those slightly, but discovering an important clue is typically the halfway point for the mystery. And then, of course, we have romance with falling in love. And nearly every single time, falling in love is definitely going to be the halfway point for a romance. And it can maybe they're not falling in love per se, but maybe they accept the fact that there's a relationship blooming. There's interest. Okay, so it's something in that realm of relationships and falling in love with romance. Okay, next up, couple of tips here. The 5 main plot points, just think about this. It's not just for the halfway point, but each of them can be represented as a single scene. It's just a plot point. It's not a whole series of events, crazy stuff happening. If that's the case, you need to narrow it down so you can think of the one singular event. What just happened? Okay? And you can represent that in a scene and, really show it, right? 3 additional tips, and these are specific to the halfway point. Number 1, the halfway point is the one plot point that has the most wiggle room. Oftentimes, when I am watching a movie or reading a book and I'm trying to identify the 5 main plot points, it's the hardest one to figure out. And so I'll usually save it for last. I'll get the other 4 done, and then I'm like, okay, which one is either like a pivotal moment, a turning point, or represents like the halfway mark? And a lot of times it literally falls 50% in the story or the movie, but that's intentional. They want it, because otherwise the pacing feels off and you'll have, it's all crazy. So just keep that in mind, that it has the most wiggle room. It's more flexible, okay? Number 2, if it doesn't match one of the 9 examples, again, I know I didn't share all 9 of them with you, but that is going to be shared in the VIP experience tonight. So join us in the VIP lounge. You might be able to think of something even better. So it does not have to be one of the 9 examples, but I'm telling you, it almost always is one of those 9 things. And then the third final tip with halfway point is first drafts usually start way too far back. Editors and agents will tell you this all the time. People start their stories too early. You need to start where the action is. And we'll get to this on day 5, like how to start your story, where that needs to start. So because of this downfall, I guess, that many writers may, experience, that the halfway point actually gets moved. It'll get moved, okay? And that's fine. Remember, it's the most flexible, so it's not that big a deal, but just keep that in mind, okay? It's not going to be set in stone necessarily today, and it's the end-all be-all. We still have 2 more days to work through and figure out the first and second plot points in your story. All right, so I did want to share a few examples from people in the challenge, a couple from last year and a couple from this year as well. So this one, my dogs, I swear, they are trying to play. Will y'all stop it? You leave him alone. The one dog is trying to be under my desk, under my feet, and the other dog's trying to chew his ears and play with him. I'm like, just no, stop it. Okay. Her brother Daniel and his friend decide to join her and her friends in the hunt for the chalk lady. So she gets help along the way to, reach the goal and discover who this chalk lady is. The other example, my halfway point is when Nari moves out and Cole has to admit he has no control over her anymore. So that's another one. So moving out and going on. Then we have these 2 come from this year. I've got to sneeze. Pardon me. Kira is persuaded to join a support group for women who have experienced domestic violence. The meetings are the turning point for her to do what she wants. So I like how she mentioned the word turning point, and she goes to the support group, and that's kind of like this halfway point. So that's Pretty good example. Of course, it's always easier, like when I see the full kind of story laid out, and people are like, "Well, here's what I think my 5 are," and I'm like, "Okay," and I can um, better validate that for you. But it sounds pretty good at this point in time. Lori's example: Polly wins her state pageant. This is one of the ones of a beauty pageant, and will be going to the nationals with her coworker. So she hires all the right people to help her do a good job and her best performance when she gets there, right? So winning the state pageant is the halfway point, because now she has to move on to get to the nationals. So that's the ultimate end-all be-all goal, is the nationals. So that's a really good example of a halfway point. She's halfway there, okay? And another example from another year, this is women's fiction. This is a different story with a main character named Polly. She's ready to choose her top 3 choices for internships. So that's just another good example. Okay. She's just making progress all along the way. She's like halfway there. So again, today's prize is the marathon method plot diagram. That's what's up for grabs today. Let me hide that out. And wanted to say that if you are excited, I want to know, how excited are you? Look at my dog. He is going crazy. He is just going crazy, licking me. Can you say jealous? Can you say jealous? Tell me how excited you are. Leave a comment in the chat about today's prize, which is the marathon method plot diagram. Okay, you get all 11 stages listed in that diagram for you. And let's see if I'm leaving anything out that I wanted to mention. I think that's it. Yeah, so thank you for joining me live. I know most of you are catching the replay. Again, the VIP experience is tonight, so be sure you get signed up for that if you want the bonuses. All 5 of the giveaways, the prizes, again, extra feedback from me, and I'll be explaining this entire plotting cheat sheet and all the super secret tips about it. So that's it. Again, congratulations to the winner, Lori. I think you're going to love it. So I will email that to you. And y'all have a great day. I will see you in the group. If you have not yet signed up, be sure you sign up and join the challenge so that you can not miss out on anything. All right, catch y'all later. Bye.